Lakeland's Lake Effect Radio. Scott and Steve. Scott and Steve.
All right, good morning, Laker fans. How are we doing today? Everything going well? You have the world-famous Scott and Steve show, less Steve today, but Jeremiah, trusty producer, is here. Jeremiah, how you doing today, sir?
Another day in paradise, right?
Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Well, it's an exciting weekend in sports and around the world here. But let's start off with Laker news. How about that? All right.
Fair enough.
All right, fair enough. All right. So the men's and women's basketball teams played host to Hocking College on Saturday. And both men and women won. The men won in a really well-played, hard-fought game. It came down to the end when they hit their free throws going down the end and wound up winning by 8 or 9. And it was just a really physical, really well-played game, a lot of intensity. So that was really nice. They had a tough loss the other night against Niagara, so to bounce back. So congrats to the Lakers men. They did a great job. Then the women followed, and they just took care of business. They took care of Hocking. They beat them by, I believe, 22. And they just had an outstanding game, a lot of good defensive pressure and everything. They went maybe a 4 or 5 minute lap in early in the third quarter, but they just regrouped real quick and took care of business. So congratulations to both the men and women's basketball teams taking care of business. Hocking's always a good challenge. We play host on Wednesday night to Terrace State College. The women will play first on Wednesday. They play at 5:30, and the men will follow at 7:30. So this will be the second league game of the semester, and we'll see how they do. But come out and support your teams. Both teams are undefeated now in league play, right? 1-0. So, but no, they played well. But Terrace State on Wednesday night here at Laker Gym, 5:30 and 7:30, free to all. So
you guys have a small handful more before the sort of halftime of the season comes.
Yeah, we play. I think the 16th or so. I think is our last game prior to the break. Over Christmas break, they do get a couple weeks to enjoy their family, get healthy, and do what they need to do from that perspective. They come back typically before New Year's or New Year's Day, right in that area. They're back practicing and stuff. And this year, we'll open up our second half of the year with a non-league game. On that first Saturday of this, I believe that's the 7th of January. We'll open up, and then we'll go back into league play after that. So, it's set up pretty well for them, and they just got to get healthy, stay healthy, and do well. The men's team is getting healthier, which is nice to see that able to bring back a player or two that have been down a little bit for some injuries, so that's always a bonus when you can do that. The women's team, they've been fairly healthy throughout the year. However, they had some injuries over the weekend against Hocking, and hopefully they're not serious. I don't know the results of that yet, but hopefully they're healthy enough to continue on and have a strong season. But both teams are exciting. Both teams are doing very, very well this year, so a lot of fun. So. Fair. All right, let's hit it out. Do we want to go college or Brownies? What do you want first there, sir?
I don't know. What do you feel?
Well, since you're not a fan anymore, right? Let's talk Browns, right? Since you're not a fan,
yeah,
I would think you'd be happy with that game and that.
Not necessarily. I was hoping that they were going to lose.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, if they won, because, deep down, you can't be a hater now, are you? I'm not sure. But it's not.
No, it would have been hilarious if they would have lost to the worst team in the league.
Well, that's probably my point where I thought you'd be okay with it, because they got to win. However, Watson certainly didn't play well. And, all the points scored, touchdowns scored were, by the defense and special teams and stuff like that.
Come on, I need a meme like this.
Lose the game on 3. Yeah. So they got it done, though. It's okay. They got it done. And he's coming back at some point regardless. And so, what are you going to do? You know what I mean? He served his time.
I turned it on for like a quick second, and that was hilariously when – what was it? Schwartz? Was it Anthony Schwartz? That young guy, he recepted it and it went up in the air and
Man, yeah. So
I did my due diligence in that I ruined, a play.
That's funny. I actually I didn't watch most of the game as I spent my Sunday painting a bedroom. So so I didn't get a chance to watch a lot of the game. But I mean, I did.
It's just like me. Before the game, I was going and replacing a kitchen faucet.
Oh, okay. All right. Very good. Plumbing 101. Gotta love it. So they got it done though. So it is what it is. Now they got Cincinnati next week, right? So that'll be a challenge for them for sure. Cincinnati had a huge win over Kansas City. And they just seem to have the Chiefs' number. I mean, I think that's 2 or 3 times in a row they've beaten them.
And the bad thing is the Browns have Cincy's number.
Well, that'll be the interesting thing.
Within the past 5 times.
Exactly right. They've played well against Cincinnati. Obviously 2 years ago, or it was a year ago, that's when Baker had the immaculate comeback and stuff like that at Cincinnati. So it'll be interesting to see what happens from that perspective. But I think that Cincinnati, they're a good team. They really are. And the Browns are too. I think Cincinnati's a little more complete than the Browns are or maybe
depth-wise.
Yeah, maybe a little less dysfunctional. I think the Browns have some dysfunction in their leaderships or questioning of their leadership.
Dysfunction? I don't know what you're talking about. A guy that has 3 sacks that goes into the Texans game and sit there and says, well, I'm taking him to the graveyard. Well, it's a really small graveyard right now.
Yeah, the Brownies. But they're good. Oh, Coach Eskridge, come on in, sir. We got Coach Eskridge for the men's basketball team here. We got look at this young man, Landon Tillman coming in too. Come on in. We're going to get these guys set up here as we talk real quick. So as we're doing that,
yeah,
we'll keep going here.
Our lovely little train wreck of the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, but we were just starting earlier. We talked a little bit about our Lakers basketball team and stuff. So for those who are out there, we have Landon Tillman, a guard on the team, and we have the head coach, Terrell Eskridge, here with us. So, Landon, why don't we start with you if we can real quick. If you can just, obviously say introduce yourself, but then tell us a little about you, about, what you want to study, what your plans are, that kind of thing.
All right. My name is Landon Tillman. Obviously, I go to Lakeland Community College. And right now I'm studying associate arts. And then when I get to my 4th year, I want to do sports management, study more in that. And, yeah.
Very good. Now, sport management, is there a particular area of that field that interests you at all?
Sports agent.
Sport agent. All right. So you're talking legal and finance and all that kind of good stuff. All right. Very good.
The hard stuff.
All right. Very good. Now, Landon, this weekend we were just talking, you guys had a very physical, very tough game against Hocking College, which has become a pretty good rival over the last couple of years. From that standpoint, what's your stance on how the game went, your philosophy and that kind of thing? You had a great game, an outstanding game for those who were not there. Leading point getter for the game, but more than that, handled the ball extremely well. They had a lot of pressure on our guards and stuff, and Landon just does a really nice job just controlling the tempo, the pace of play, getting people involved. And I just thought you did a really great game, so congratulations to you.
Appreciate that.
But what's your thought process on how the game went, or what'd you think about the game?
I feel like the game went well. We knew the game was going to be physical. He was telling us we had to be physical. He was pushing us hard in practice, just letting us know, like, they're not going to give us no foul, so finish through the contact, get and ones, and I feel like we did that. We played physical, pushed them back when they pushed us. So, yeah, I feel like we did good on that.
Yeah, it was a lot exciting. Now, you've played down at Hocking last year, so you know the environment down there and what to expect from that perspective. That's a long ways off. You don't play them until February.
Yeah.
But any thoughts on that though? Any ways that you guys will need to prepare for that? Because they're obviously going to be one of the teams in the conference that you're going to be battling against for top seed, I would think, or for the conference championship.
Yeah, it's gonna be real different at Hocking because they got their football team in the crowd, so they're all gonna be talking trash, all that. So we just got to be mentally prepared for that, not let them get in our head, and just keep playing physical and just focus on the game, focus on our game plan. Don't let them.
Very good.
Let's get rattled.
Now, so that we don't look too far ahead, you got a game coming up Wednesday night. That's against Terra State, and that is here at Lakeland. Again, the men play at 7:30 on Wednesday night. You have a scouting report on Terra that you feel comfortable sharing. Coach, I kind of look at you a little bit. I don't want to say anything that you don't want out there. So, Anything you feel comfortable with?
The home game Wednesday. The home game Wednesday is free, so we want everybody to come out and support. But we're going over the scouting report today during practice, so we haven't gave it to the kids yet. We usually do it 2 days before the game, so Monday today we're gonna go over it, let them know what we're trying to do against Terra State.
All right, very good. Now, Coach, again, same thing, physical play and that kind of thing. I know you're pleased with their effort, their ability to follow the game plan, that kind of stuff in the last game. Any other thoughts about the team in general moving forward or the season as a whole?
We learning. We only had 2 players that played college basketball last year, so we have a lot of freshmen that just didn't know. Just like he didn't know last year, just didn't know how physical it was going to be, how hard it was going to be. A lot of people come into junior college thinking it's easy. Like, oh, it's not Duke or Kentucky, but it's still college basketball players, so it's still kind of difficult. So we got a lot of people learning. We halfway through. We had a lot of injuries. We got to get people up to speed, but I think they learning how hard they got to play now. I think last game, getting punched in your mouth usually shows you that. You get punched in your mouth, I like the way they responded. They came back with a good attitude. So hopefully we know now this is how we have to play every game.
Very good. Now this weekend, you guys are off to Niagara, right? You're out to there's a on Sunday, I believe you'll be playing Niagara again, and Monroe on Saturday. Those are 2 pretty good teams. When I say pretty good, they're very good teams, and traditionally Monroe's had a lot of his history traditionally where they've been ranked and stuff, that kind of thing. Though they're currently not, I don't believe they have been in the past. And of course, Niagara, we just saw them the other day, and they came out and took care of us, unfortunately. But any thoughts on the upcoming weekend as well? Not to look beyond Terra State, but
we taking steps. We focus on Terra right now. We're not even worried about the game this weekend. It's college basketball. Anybody, any day you can be beat. So we focus on Terra. When we get done with Terra, we'll focus on Monroe. We get done with Monroe, we focus on Niagara. So we're going to focus on Terra until then.
That's smart. Very good. Very good. All right. Landon, if I can get back to you here, talk to us about your classes and kind of thing. What are you taking? What's your favorite class you're taking right now?
My favorite class is actually geology right now.
Okay, geology. Why is that?
Geology, I've always liked science for some reason. I never understood why, but I always like science. Being outside, looking at different rocks, how they got there, what it has to do with the earth, all that type stuff.
Okay, have you had the opportunity to do the canoeing or paddleboarding? Are they doing that this semester?
No, I don't think so.
Okay,
yeah,
all right.
Unfortunately.
All right, I know they've done a lot of that type of stuff in the past, everything, and
that would be fun.
Yeah. So, are you guys still outside looking at stuff now?
Not really, because the weather's been bad.
I was gonna ask you, that temperature drop. How is it?
Yeah, the temperature's crazy. We was out there. It was like 30 degrees, windy, freezing. I ain't gonna lie.
Welcome to Northeast Ohio.
Yeah,
gotta love it. Gotta love it. All right, so that's good. Do you have an instructor you want to give a shout out to then at all, or anything?
I'm gonna give a shout out to Mr. Barlett. That's my geology teacher. Real fun class. Teaches well.
All right,
it's fun.
All right, very good, very good. Jeremiah, anything you want to throw out to these guys at all?
No, I got nothing yet.
Okay, all right, very good. So we're getting ready to get into we're talking about the Browns a little bit, that kind of thing. Do you guys follow them?
Me personally, I don't really follow football.
Football at all, college or pro?
College, I do.
It's simple. Just don't turn into a dumpster fire like them.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, look at that. All right, so let's get into college football then.
Well, it is true. You can't deny that.
Have you followed, obviously, I would assume you followed the release, right, of the top 4 teams, that kind of thing. So we've got Georgia at 1, Michigan 2, right, and then TCU at 3, and Ohio State jumped in there at 4.
Yes, sir.
What are your thoughts on that?
I'm glad Ohio State made the cut, but when we played Georgia, I don't know what we gonna do, because we could beat Michigan without their star running back. So I don't know.
Okay, all right. Do you think? Well, go ahead. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
There was that one aspect of Georgia had 2 sort of close ones. First Kentucky and what was it, Missouri? I think in beginning in September, give or take.
I don't think you can worry about a team what they did in September to now, but
Kentucky, that was what, end of October, November. I forgot when. I don't have their.
So are you telling me that? Are you trying to say that Ohio State's going to beat Georgia? Is that what you're trying to say?
Of course, I'm going there.
I feel a bet coming on here. We do have some stuff going on. Student athletes can't participate in college betting, but
I know.
we go from there. So I guess my first question, then I'll ask both. He's a Ohio State fan, all right? And Steve, the other half of this show, he's not able to be here today, is a diehard Michigan fan. I'm not either. I'm in the middle, and I'm not from the area, so it doesn't matter to me one way or the other. But Ohio State, did they deserve the 4?
They're the only one-loss team in pretty much the whole country.
Does one loss, is that the key? Is that the key factor?
Well, they have determination over the past years of the playoffs and that. Not really if anyone gets knocked out.
Past years, so we're talking about that?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just going
So
on.
past years, and
Okay.
that not many 2-loss teams get over one-loss teams.
Okay.
If someone gets knocked out of, the 4. But then this is the first time, during the championship round that anyone got knocked out. Like, yeah, Southern Cal, sort of, yeah.
They
took a shellacking.
USC got beat. Yeah, they got beat pretty good. All right.
They took a shellacking and a half.
Okay. Landon, thoughts on Ohio State getting in? I mean, you were happy about it, but did they deserve it?
Yeah, I think they definitely deserve it because I know Alabama had 2 losses, so I feel like that 1 loss was super important, even though we got beat by like 20. But still.
Well, and I guess that becomes part of the argument is Ohio State did. I mean, yes, they lost. They got smoked.
Yeah,
Let's be honest. They got smoked, right? Alabama does have 2 losses, though, right? But they were both close games. One of them was an overtime and against some good opponents, quality opponents. If you looked at strength of schedule online, Alabama has a stronger schedule. If you look at the power index, Alabama's ranked higher than OSU in the power index. So how do we justify this? What do we think?
One thing you could tell the committee was just the 1-loss, team got it. If it was, let's say, Tennessee, if they were maybe there, if they didn't have 2 losses in that, it would have been tied
if
up
Tennessee
there.
didn't lose their quarterback, they'd have made it. They lost that Hooper, and that hurt them for sure.
If they were, 11-1,
Okay.
it would have been, that it's all that shoulda, woulda, coulda.
All right. So they're in. All right. So let's run down it. We've got Georgia and Ohio State. You're picking Ohio State. Who do you think is going to win?
I hope Ohio State wins.
All right. So what we've learned in this room is that never bet with your heart, bet with your head. Who's going to win that game?
But then it goes sort of half-ways of that.
Yeah, it does. I just throw it out to you.
I can't do my dogs like that, so we got to go Ohio State.
Ohio State, okay. All right. Coach Eskridge, any thoughts on this?
It's Georgia.
Georgia?
I don't think it's a fair fight.
I got to say is I'm also going Georgia on this game. I mean, Georgia's good. They're just a good team. And not that Ohio State's
But
not,
you can't
but Georgia's
necessarily
good.
judge much off of yesterday because, let's face it, the, let's say, C team of LSU decided to come out. Or LSU sort of came out.
Could that be because the A team of Georgia is that much better?
No.
Oh, okay. I was just checking. Just
Come
checking.
on.
All right.
The block field goal thing, that pretty much said, you got schooled on that in high school coming up of block field goal, it's still in bounds.
All right.
Someone should have went over and let's say all of them walking off the side and yeah.
All right.
If you sort of see the highlights of the game, you sort of realize that was really a bad move on their thing of they really dropped the ball on that one.
Okay. TCU and Michigan. Want this recorded. Steve, I know if he was calling in, I know he's sick today. If he was calling in, I'm sure he'd be yelling Michigan right now. But are you going to go on record as supporting Michigan in this game?
Oh, no.
So are you picking TCU?
Oh, yeah, of course I'm going TCU.
Okay, just wanted to check.
Don't worry, it is recorded.
Okay, all right. Coach?
Michigan.
Landon?
I want that. I want Michigan to win because I want that matchup in the
Ohio State,
national
Michigan match?
championship. Yeah,
All right.
I need that matchup.
So let me ask you this: if Ohio State is not successful against Georgia, does that? Oh, we got a lot of feedback. Sorry. A little mic check here, folks. We're getting this straightened out here. There we go. All right. So if Ohio State is not successful, then does that change your vote? Then do you, or do you still think Michigan's a team over TCU? In other words, the matchup can't happen because Ohio State were to lose.
Michigan still, they were still.
Michigan's still going to do it?
Yeah.
All right. So in your world, you have Michigan against Ohio State.
Yeah.
And who's going to win?
Ohio State.
Ohio State all the way?
Can't go out. Sad twice.
All right. Coach, you got Michigan and Georgia. Who do you have winning it all?
I hate when the game's so far away. So, like, when it's so far away, like,
right.
And the team with the pressure, you got so much time to think about it.
Okay.
And people root for the underdog, so I think Michigan will win.
Michigan will win? Okay. Michigan and I'm sorry, you had TCU and Ohio State.
Which I'm going to go Ohio State. So
right. Michigan, Georgia. Today, if I had to bet, I'll root for Michigan today. But I think you're hitting a nail on the head. Is it's so far away. You don't know how teams are going to respond. Who's going to play? Who's going to get hurt? Who's going to get healthy? That kind of stuff. There's a lot of variables out there.
Well, the running back we know for Michigan's not coming back anytime soon.
Correct.
Then I'm sort of going off of their bowl record under Jim Harbaugh, then their overall bowl record, which isn't good.
Yeah, that a lot of truth there. Georgia's been there,
1-5
so
or 1-6. Then overall they're like 21-28. Michigan.
Okay. All right.
So
you're saying history is the key? I'm just asking.
Yeah.
Okay.
In a way, too.
In a way. Okay. All right.
Not that I just hate them.
Well, I think that's more the key on your end, but that's okay. All right, let's talk Brownies here real quick. Then they had a impressive. Well, they had a win. I don't know how impressive it was, but they had a win over the weekend. They went back to Houston and won. Your favorite quarterback, Deshaun Watson, did not play well. Underthrew a ton of passes.
There's a lot of favorites on that team.
Yeah, it just didn't look good, but they got it done. Their defense scored. They had a punt run back. They did a nice job. So, I still think you got to tip your cap to them. It is a local team, so you hope they do it. But I think the most important thing. Now, you said you're not a Browns fan at all, right?
No.
Or follow football.
Really
follow football at all, that aspect. Coach, you follow any of that at all? No? All right, so we'll keep it short on them. The best thing that happened over the weekend is Steve's Cincinnati beating Kansas City.
Mahomes.
Yeah, because that does what? It puts the Bills right back in the top seed in the East. So I think that's a huge game. So, we think that's great. So good for them, and we're happy with that. World Cup soccer. We got to talk World Cup soccer a little bit. I'm not sure if you guys follow that at all. It doesn't. The shaking of heads, no one here. All right. The next thing after World Cup soccer, we'll come to you guys. Give us something we want to talk about. Any topic in the world. All right. You give us 30 seconds to talk about this, and it's on you to pick us something. Okay.
I haven't really watched any of it. It was more I'm looking after the results.
Yeah, and they got smoked, right? I mean, 3-1. 3-1 is a lot for soccer, if you will, and it wasn't even that close. They just didn't look good, and they played like the States as opposed to the United States, and that's essentially what we've talked about that in the past in the show. But USA Soccer goes down, so we wish everyone else the best of luck and farewell from the USA from that standpoint. All right, we're going to turn over to Mr. Tillman here. Give us a topic, sir. Anything that you want to talk about. Doesn't have to be sports. Could be anything that you have an interest in or anything you want to share with anybody.
I'm gonna do college basketball.
All right.
College basketball.
Let's hit it. What do you want to do? What's your thought process? What's going on? What do you want to talk about?
I'm gonna ask y'all what y'all think. Who's your favorite team? 'Cause
great question. All right. We'll turn it over to you.
Too early necessarily for me.
Well, who's your favorite team? I think is the first question, right?
I would say Ohio State, but the only thing is, overall, when it comes into the whole getting close to March and that sort of changes.
Well, March Madness is, in my eyes, one of the smartest marketing things the NCAA has ever done. It's a tremendous event. It's a lot of fun. I love it. It really makes the year, makes basketball exciting. I actually love watching college basketball much more than I do watching professional basketball. I just feel like the energy level, the effort level, and just, I don't know, just the spirit of it, I think is a lot better, personally, from what I enjoy. So you'll never guess who I like. My favorite team actually is Virginia Tech Hokies. All right, so you weren't taking that at all, were you? No, see. So my background a little bit is I went to school down at Radford University for grad school, which is about 20 minutes from Blacksburg, which is where the Hokies are at. And so when I went through grad school, I had the opportunity to really follow them, go to a lot of their games, basketball, football, that kind of stuff. My son essentially has also gone to Virginia Tech, so he's a grad there now. So I'm a Hokie fan. Basketball wise, they've they're small. Every year they're just small. They can shoot, they can defend, but they're small. But certainly not a top 10 team on a regular basis. They're kind of in and out of the top 20 once in a while. But that's my team. So how about yourself?
Well, I grew up on Duke.
Okay.
But that was more of my dad pushing it on me. But as I started to grow up, I just had I got a lot of friends that actually play, so I'm all over the place. But the team I watched the most probably Kent State, because my dog on there, so I just watched them.
All right, very good.
My favorite team.
All right, very good. Coach, what's your
Arkansas.
thought? What's that?
Arkansas is my favorite.
Arkansas. All right.
From Arkansas, we don't have any professional teams, so everybody usually fans of the college team.
Right. Now, were you coaching when Jeff Price was still in the league?
Jeff Price.
He was I think he might have left the year before. He was at Sinclair Community College down in Dayton. No, he is now the associate coach, head coach at Central Arkansas.
Central Arkansas. I did see him the other day. I seen his name. I don't know who he is though.
Okay, yeah. Name. So he was a former head coach at Sinclair who was in our conference forever, and then when COVID hit and everything, they disbanded athletics from that perspective. So he moved down there he's a coach down there. So I pull for Jeff, as Central Arkansas because he's one of us from that perspective. But that's great. So you said Kent State, right?
Yeah.
So who plays there that you're following?
Jalen Selinger. That's been my best friend for a minute. So yeah, I just be watching him.
How's he doing?
He doing all right. He getting better or more playing time he did last year, and he's doing better. And yeah,
all right.
Next year, I feel like that's gonna be his breakout year because they got Sincere Carey there right now. So
okay, you get to. I mean, that's fairly close. You ever go down and watch him in person or?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. I actually just went to. I went to their game versus South Dakota State Saturday.
Okay.
Friday. One of them.
Okay.
Or no. Yeah, it was later that Saturday.
So Saturday night?
Game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. That's fun? You had a good time?
Yeah.
Outstanding. That's great to hear. The Golden Flashes. Gotta love it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? All right. So who's going to – are you still a Duke fan as well? Or
I'm not.
My next question is going to be about Krzyzewski. How you feel about how he's doing, what's going on in the whole 9 yards?
Yeah, I don't really follow Duke no more. It was really when Coach K was there for real.
Okay.
He was somewhat overrated.
Okay. All right. I got to ask this question. Why do you say that?
Well, many times when they got in the playoffs and that they're like the one and done.
Duke?
Yeah.
They've won a lot of national championships, been in Final Four a lot too. I mean, Duke's for years.
Years, but
80s, 90s, 2000s, they were pretty dominant, man.
Later 2000s, that they turned into the one and done.
It was in the Final Four last year.
Yeah.
Well, not really. It was more like 2010-ish around there, or a little before.
I don't know.
'Cause I always messed around with the one kid at high school.
Okay.
Because he was a huge Duke fan, and that. Then 1 year they went in. First round they were out. Next year I kept messing with them after that.
Well, I don't know off the top of my head the years, stuff like that. I'm sure there's years they were one and done. But I mean, historically though, God, the guy's had all kinds of success. I mean, he's plus coached the Olympics, and man, I don't know. He's a hard guy to say he's an underachiever in my eyes. But in my eyes, I mean, he graduates kids, they move on, they do well in the world and professionally. But interesting. So you're a Duke hater, huh?
Yeah.
All right, so
Straight up.
what it is here, right? So who we love?
I'm a Michigan hater. I'm a Duke hater.
So who we loving here again? Who's the team you love? Who's a team you love?
Ohio State depends with the Final Four. Sometimes North Carolina.
Oh, so you just jumped based on the year?
It depends.
Who's in your heart, man? I'm asking who's in your heart.
sort of changes every few years.
Oh,
Well, I'm the person
Wait a
that
minute.
picks, the March Madness.
listen.
or March.
For the record, this is
Madness
why he's not
bracket.
dating anyone seriously as well. He just changes all the time. No, just teasing.
But when it comes
Sorry,
to March the Madness brackets, I always mess up either one or two
Well, all right.
of the whole bracket.
So to the point, when it comes to the bracket, I mean, you're playing a bracket, so then you're trying to bet with your head. I would assume if you have money on it. So who you're rooting for certainly changes. I understand that aspect. I'm just asking though if there's a team that, like the Lakers, man. I mean, if there's a NJCAA team playing, I'm rooting for the Lakers, right? I mean, that's just our team, right? So they're in my heart, they're in my head. I've been here forever. That's who we're at. Do you have anybody like that for college basketball? This is who you're. I mean, he's saying, Cat. What do you got? Arkansas. What
Sort
do
of
you got?
bounce around.
All right, you're a bouncy guy. All right, so there's no strong, no affiliation. All right, that's fair enough. That's fair enough from that aspect. Very good. All right, what else we got, guys? What's the best pregame meal you can come up with? What do you have before? You got a big game now. Saturday's a little different now. I do want to say this. Saturday, you guys play at 1:00. That's the first time in our college's history that the men have played before the women in a league game and that kind of thing. It's always been the other way around, and that's going to be like that the rest of the season with the men playing first for conference games. Mm-hmm. How does that impact? Any changes? Did you notice anything different? Like it? Didn't like it? What'd you think?
Me personally, I like it because I don't like waiting around too long before I play a game. So I just like to get there, stretch, warm up, and then play. So
Okay.
I actually like playing earlier.
Okay, all right. So when you flip the other foot, though, you're going to be riding 3 hours on a bus.
I mean, you gotta play.
And you got to get up and play there. So any strategy, or I don't know if you want to share anything, but any thoughts on that, on how you get yourself prepared after a long bus ride and that kind of stuff? Because you won't have those 2 hours of stretch and relax now.
Yeah, usually on a bus ride, I usually try to always get a nap in. So when I wake up, and then I still have like an hour left in the bus ride, so I can just get mentally prepared for the game and like wake up and
Okay.
pretty much that.
All right. Very cool. Very cool. Coach, how about you? From your end, any difference in preparation from that perspective?
Well, we had our best first half we had all season,
Okay.
so I kind of like playing first
All right.
because we played totally different. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was just I don't know, but I was worried about it because we usually got that game where we can look and wait, but we had the best first half we've had all season, so bring on the early games.
So you're going to petition Coach Gardenhatter to have the Wednesday night game switched as well, is what I
If
just
they
heard.
play like that, give them, we need it.
All right, very cool, very good, very good. All right, what time we got here? Oh, we got quarter of so. Anything else you guys want to chat about, or anything else going on?
The Lakers are winning games now. The LA Lakers, not us.
All right,
I'm a
LA
Lakers
Lakers. Let's
fan.
go there. All right, let's hear it. Let's go there. LA Lakers. They have turned a corner a little bit. They've gotten a little bit healthier for the most part. They've won some games from that aspect. What's your take on Mr. James and them and the whole 9 yards?
I'm a Lakers fan. I've been a Lakers fan forever.
Okay.
So
So back to the old Magic Johnson days, Kareem, everything.
Yeah. Well, not that old, but.
See, that's my era.
Yeah, I wasn't.
That's my era. Sorry, that's my era.
I wasn't born yet,
You
but
know who I was?
Yeah, I know. Well,
You've heard of him, right?
yeah.
yeah, when I started becoming a Lakers fan, I did my history, and I like Magic Johnson, but he passed me. I'm
Okay.
Kobe. Derek Fisher is from where I'm from,
Okay.
from Little Rock, Arkansas. So
Okay.
I don't think no team wants to play the Lakers in the playoffs.
All right. Are they going to get in the playoffs?
If we get in the playoffs, I don't think any team wants to play us in the playoffs.
Okay. All right. All right. Very good. And, to that point, they definitely have the tools. I would absolutely agree. Health has been their issue the last few years, so it's going to be interesting to see how that shakes out. It's a long season, and they got a couple guys a little bit older, LeBron being one of them, and staying healthy down the stretch is certainly going to be the key for them. But I do agree that they have the ability to put it together and be very, very competitive down the stretch and can challenge anybody. And quite honestly, there isn't any team that's blowing it away right now either, in the West.
The Warriors playing bad.
Yeah, Warriors took forever to win a game on the road, right? I mean, but they're starting to pick it up a little bit as well. But yeah, to your point, I mean, there's nobody in my eyes that's standing out in the West. I mean, even in the East,
The Bucks and the Celtics playing.
yeah,
in the
those
East.
that's about it, right? I mean, can Brooklyn really do anything? I mean, they always make a gazillion changes every year, but I don't see it happening. And You know, I mean, I don't know that there's any other teams that really challenge them in the East at this point, anyway.
The Cavs are too young.
Cavs are an interesting team.
I think they're gonna win a first round series though.
Well, it depends on where they
Yeah.
finish. Depending where they finish, yeah. You know, they're going to be a tough out. I think for whoever draws them. To your point, is defensively they're fairly solid, right? And they're young. They got some energy and score. So yeah, I think the Cavs are going to be a challenge.
My assistant coach, his brother just got moved to the starting lineup. He played for the Cavs.
Oh really? Okay.
Lamar Stevens.
Yep.
So they moved him to the starting lineup. They've been playing good. I think that's how the steps go in the NBA. They didn't make the playoffs last year. They was right there. They was in the playing game.
Right. Yeah.
And then the next step is to make the playoffs, see
Then
if they can win a
progress from
first
there.
round series, and
Yeah.
then the next year I think it'll be even better. I think
Yeah.
that's how steps go usually in the NBA.
I would agree, and they're on the right trajectory for sure. For sure, they're on the right trajectory. So you know, hopefully they will. They'll do that. They'll play well. I know when the Cavs won it all there in '16, right? That was very exciting around town and stuff. You were live then, at least, so that was good. so that's good. But it was a lot of fun. You know, I know that you know, my family and I, we went out, we watched the final game, and you know, it was very exciting afterwards, and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. So yeah, let's hope the Cavs keep it going. And
Let's face it, one thing. It's either them or the Guardians that are going to bring the next championship.
this guy, Mr. Negative Brown guy here. I think that.
Well, I'm just saying.
All right, so the Guardians, as much as I love Terry Francona, they're not close to being a World Series team.
Well, it's better odds versus them versus the Browns. You have to admit that.
I think it's, you know what, I actually think it's easier to win in football than it is in baseball.
You obviously haven't paid attention to the Browns, that they're pretty self-instructed.
I'm talking about a championship, though. I think it's easier to win a championship in football than it is in baseball, because I think over a 162 game season, there's a lot of things that happen.
And a series in the playoffs. You got to win one game in football.
That's right, and you got to win. Was it three or four if you don't get to buy, right? 3 or 4. Whereas in baseball, you got to win a 3 out of 5, a 4 out of 7, a 4 out of 7.
Most of the time going to win.
You know,
like in
and-
football, you can get hot and win,
Right.
but
Well,
baseball.
that was the Bengals last year, right? I mean, the Bengals, I didn't think were the best team last year by any far,
Yeah,
but
you get
but
hot.
they played really, really well at the right time, you know, and they're a good team. Don't get me wrong. I just saying I don't know that they were the best team moving forward there. You know, so I mean, it's probably hard for me to say that, but I really do think that's the case with it. Whereas in baseball, let's be honest, you get a short series. If you got a team with 2 pitchers, they could beat you. Even if you're a better team, the 2 pitchers will beat you. You know, I mean, let's look at when you know, the Diamondbacks won their World Series, right? They had Schilling and Randy Johnson, 2 pitchers. That was it. That was their whole team. And they won
I
the
used to
darn World
watch
Series.
playoff baseball I only watch playoffs, but because
Right.
it seemed like it's totally different in regular season.
Oh, it is totally
I used to
different.
watch Kurt
Yep.
Schilling and Randy Johnson. Like, I don't know why I used to watch it, but it
Yeah.
was just on. So I was like, oh, this is dope in the playoffs. It's not in the regular season.
Right. No, there's a lot of truth there. And Schilling, of course, did not get into the Hall of Fame, right? He was not voted again by his peers, which was interesting. I really thought he had a good shot at getting in. I know the press hates him, and he doesn't like the press, but I was surprised his peers didn't vote him in. The guy has been a stud his whole career. Hey, voters didn't put him in, so it is what it is. But the crime dog, Fred McGriff, got in, so we got to tip our caps to him. Well deserved. He's a good player. I know before your time, he's played when I was younger. So, you know, but he's a very good player across the board. So, yeah, interesting. All right. Anything else you guys want to get into from that? No? All right. We're gonna call this a short one today, so we're gonna do a wrap on this, as we all got some things we gotta get to. Reminder, all our students here, hey, finals week's coming. Make sure you buckle down for those last part of your semester. Good luck on your finals projects, all those kind of things, papers, get them done, do well. And be a Laker fan. Wednesday night at Laker Gym, 5:30 is the women, 7:30 the men. Come out and see Coach Eskridge and Landon Tillman light up Terra State, and we'll have a lot of fun. All right, it's free. Come out and join us. Have a great day, everyone. Go Lakers.
Pull up.
Thank you.